today's test at Michigan International Speedway?
Yeah, we've done an analysis and come to some conclusions, and I think we have some solutions. So, but of course, tools are limited. We don't have the ability to do 20 or 30 cars at a time. So basically, what we're going to do here is watch the racing, harvest data off the cars, and use that data as input to develop our 15 rules package.
With that, we'll throw it out to questions for the group. If you would, just raise your hand, and Brad's got a mic here that he can grab. I know Mike's got one here. We'll start with you, Mike.
Mike from the Detroit Free Press, Gene. For us lay people, tell us about the aerodynamic and the engine testing you'll be doing in the various steps. I believe there's 6 steps that you'll run through today.
Yeah, there's 6 tests. The first one was essentially just a rear differential gear change. The second one we ran is we put on an aerodynamics package, and then from that point we'll step down horsepower, and then the final package we get to, which will be the 6th, will be one where we take a significant amount of downforce off the car and our Goodyear partners bringing some Goodyear tires. So we're testing quite a wide gamut of things here.
In the end, the goal in mind for racing next year, at intermediate tracks in particular?
Yeah, this emphasis, I should have made that point, I apologize, but the emphasis is on intermediate tracks, yes.
And what are you looking for as far as
we're looking for basically a fan-centric type of direction. Fans have said they like a lot of passing, they like a lot of side-by-side, they like a lot of lead changes, and so that's what we're endeavoring to do.
Other questions? Zach Albert.
Hi, Gene. Zach Albert, NASCAR.
Hey, Zach. How are you?
Good there. I was wondering if you could explain just why Michigan was selected for the test, and as to opposed to say another track.
Yeah, there's actually 3 constraints we put on this. The first one is that the teams have told us they would like the rules by early September. Therefore, we have to pick something about a month before that, so we have time to work through the detail and the data. So that's one constraint. The other constraint is we don't want to go to a track and that we're going to race at in the balance of the season, because we don't want to be perceived to be giving teams an extra practice round, as it were. So that's the second one. And the third one is we like to, for the sake of efficiency and cost, to piggyback on existing race, because there's a lot of equipment, timing and scoring equipment that's set up, and the sports vision equipment. There's all this type of equipment, and it's in place for the race, and so it's pretty easy for us to just leave it up, do the test, and then tear it down. So it's really those 3 criteria are constrained to that.
Okay, and the horsepower optimization, the move, the step down, as you mentioned, that's being achieved today with plates, restrictor plates?
Yeah, we're just using, it's a very quick, easy way to do it. It's very simple. You can put on the car very quickly, and we can get through these tests very, very efficiently.
Okay, and to clarify, that won't be the long-term plan, but it's just meant to emulate.
Yeah, we haven't determined as of yet, but if this is successful, then we'll have to determine the execution strategy around it.
Mike has another question up here, and Nate Ryan.
Sorry, Nate. Sorry. Gene, is this in response to perhaps speeds getting too quick at these intermediate tracks, or perhaps even right across the board after what we saw here in qualifying from a safety standpoint?
Yeah, I mean, there's no denying the fact that our speeds have picked up, and that marches hand in hand with the power as it's developed over the years. And so when we look at the car, it's essentially, in our form of racing, is we race cars that look like passenger cars, right? And they've somewhat changed in shape. They mirror what the manufacturers are doing, and the power's crept up. So we think by looking at this issue, being open-minded to investigate it, we can perhaps, we believe we'll make the racing better, but we'll also deal with this speed issue, which has been continuing to creep up and up.
Nate Ryan.
Nate Ryan, USA Today Sports. Gene, with some of the limitations this morning with the engine failure and the incident, are you getting enough today? Do you still anticipate one test will be enough?
Yeah, I think we'll be okay. We had 3 cars go off. The 2 are back. One's changing an engine. They'll be back with us on the next test run, so we should be fine, assuming there are no other significant issues along the way. But yeah, we should be fine.
And then also there was a lot of chatter about dive planes. Could you kind of explain why you're using them on the cars today, and if there are plans maybe to use those in 2015?
Yeah, essentially, the dive planes it's a tool to, if we talk about the lead car creates a wake that the trail car has to drive into. So what the dive planes do is they, particularly in a low area, they take this wake and really clean it up so that the trail car has a much more predictable balance in the car. So the driver will feel the car is more predictable. So it's really a way to put more predictability into the trail car so he can stay closer so he doesn't lift off the throttle when there's an issue. So, that way he can stay closer and we can, get closer racing.
Do you think you'll use those next year? Do you think?
Well, we'll see what happens here, what the information shows us.
Mike, again.
Sounds like you're getting even ahead of Formula One. They may need some direction with these dive planes, because the racing there is, you get up too close to someone and you just can't pass, or you can't really do much, so it's almost a parade sometimes.
Yeah, well, all racing has their challenges, so I don't know all the intricacies of F1 racing, so if I was giving you opinions, I would really be speaking without profound knowledge, so I'd prefer not to do that.
Any final questions? Go ahead, Zach.
Zach Howard again. Just checking about the adjustable panhard bar change or potential change that you're going to be testing later in the day.
Yes.
Just how much of a game changer would that be in terms of, it not only having a crew chief relay, hey, we'd like to, we're going to do this, and a driver can just do it right there. Were you guys looking into something that could potentially really change up and shake up what in-race strategy looks like?
Well, we've been somewhat hesitant to throw all kinds of adjustability on the car. We like kind of the pure historic form of our racing, so we march very cautiously here, carefully as we do these things. But we do allow, when they come into the pit, we do allow them to change, wedge on 4 corners, and we do allow them to change the track bar. So our thinking is we allow them to change it in the pit. So now we're just going to, the track bar, we're going to investigate whether giving that control to the driver so he can bring his car into better trim if he's not set up right. If it's not set up right, he has to wait till a pit stop to correct it. But here we say, okay, if we put this in your hands, perhaps we can help them correct on the fly, as it were. So that's the thinking. Now, I do believe that since we've gone to the new chassis setup, that the effect of it won't be as great as it would have been if we had it done last year, but nonetheless we think there'll be an effect, and that's what we're gonna look at.
Nate, did you have a question?
Yeah.
There's also there's the technical piece of it, but then there's the human piece of it, the drivers, and how will they feel comfortable with it, and all that type of thing. So this is something that we need to, and we're going to ask them for their opinions on that.
Go ahead.
With the speeds here now reaching 206 miles an hour in qualifying, is knowing that speeds might be separate from horsepower reduction, but that they're kind of related. Is there a speed that you're shooting for? Is there a good top end or exiting corner speed that you'd like to have optimally for next year here?
I would say we're going to really look at what the racing looks like, but the aero package itself will knock a bit of speed off into the straightaway because we have a bit more drag on the car, so that'll attenuate the speed somewhat. I haven't seen all the numbers; some of them are being crunched right now, but I think taking some speed off is the direction we're headed. The amount, we'll wait and see what the information